Hello and welcome back, friends, to the Malakai Makaisson campaign. We are in the process of giving all the Skaven, pretty much, a tail whipping, one that hopefully they will never forget. Once we finish giving them said whipping, we will have won an ultimate campaign victory, potentially. Clan Eshin, still a little bit of a concern, because they're at the hands of factions that I can't trust to get the job done, and the auto-resolve is sometimes pretty kind to the Skaven. Plus, it looks like we got a little bit of Nurgle influence going on up there as well, so we might have to go lend a hand to our good buddy Balthasar, and see what we can do to help him. Now, unfortunately, there's no way for me to travel over there quickly because of the, like an underway or something else like that. However, I want to say if I can punch my way all the way through Nagarond, which may not actually be that far away. I think there is a sea lane that can be traveled to get us over here a little bit quicker. That'd be pretty funny for Malakai to end up having traveled that distance. So, I mean, I would like to defeat all those Skaven factions, but, I mean, technically we're kind of done with the campaign. The main reason why I had kept this one going versus I ended the Elspeth campaign is because we completed all the upgrades in the Elspeth campaign, and we met the campaign criteria, essentially, and I basically burned down the Oak of Ages, so it was clearly going to be a downhill snowball for the Wood Elves. Now, in this case, this was kind of like my big thing to go for here. I wanted to clear the Retake the Realms grudge. I felt like that one was very important. Skaven Blight. We could potentially knock out another of these legendary grudges here by defeating Clan Scryer. It also says we have to destroy Clan Mulder, which is kind of funny because they're dead. Like, I don't think Clan Mulder... I mean, maybe it still counts them as alive because I have that mod in that allows the AI factions just like me to take on defeated legendary lords, and because Throt is still alive, maybe it counts that one? I don't know. That's certainly something we'll have to look at. Now, couple things people mentioned, and we should probably go take a look at it. Someone was saying that they thought Karak Kadrin might have a Skaven Undercity, and they are correct. Thank you for the call out. And hopefully this proves to you all that I do read your comments, and I love them. Please leave them. I like them. And you might be saying, oh, Air's doing that because he wants to help the algorithm. No, I can't stand the algorithm. The algorithm's garbage. I don't really care about it. I just like your comments. So if you leave a comment, you don't have to do it for the algorithm. Just leave it for me. Tell me that my nose is ugly and that I stink or whatever you want to say, but I'm always glad to have your comments, so thank you. I am doing a little bit of a refit here on this army. Now, someone mentioned another army. Again, another comment. I'm trying to remember the name. I think it was Dringer, saying his army needs a refit. It does. That one definitely needs a refit. Let me make sure I'm not confused with anybody else here. Belagar, Guthrie, Alaric. Yeah, this guy could certainly use a refit. The army is... He's got the power in terms of the air power, which is good. This Goblobber probably needs to be switched out for something, say, like an organ gun, and then we could use some Longbeards to make up the infantry line. They're just going to be a lot more potent. I'm okay with the missile line here, but it definitely needs a little bit of rework. But we were able to defeat Khorne's champion here, which is good news. I'm going to go ahead and finish off what's left of that army. And we will have to get them replenishing on the next turn. So we destroyed that faction. There are going to be more bad guys here. We got the other champions that need to be killed. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Yikes. Fortunately for me, I got a lot of giant slayers and cannons. Gyro bombers actually could be kind of helpful there too, so I'm pretty sure we can accomplish this, but wow, that is going to be so much pink and blue fire. And the Soul Grinder is actually not amazing range, but pretty good range. And then Burning Chariots, dangerous if given time to act. Gaze of Fire... Blue Fire, Zinch, Clean Magic. All right, he's got Zinch's Firestorm and Infernal Gateway. This is going to be a very dangerous caster for us to run into there. And then, of course, we got the Nurgle army. Holy crap, that army is unclean to all extents. Well, that should be interesting. I do appreciate CA, by the way, adding in these late-game scenarios. they do make the game so much more fun and so much more enjoyable. It's a quality of life thing that if you go back to older Total Wars, you will certainly notice that it doesn't exist in a meaningful way, and it is nice to see those there. Now, we killed the Skaven here, so I mean, we could technically take these armies and start... Like, I could take one of them and go over to help against the Skaven. This army might be fairly well suited to fighting ogres. It's going to be horrible at fighting pretty much everything else. Honestly, it should probably be remade a little bit if it's going to be used for fighting ogres. We could use another giant slayer instead of that warrior great weapon. The slayer pirates aren't bad. Still a decent unit to holding up flanks. The gyrocopter is probably kind of pointless, and it makes... I remember, though, the flame cannons did do some decent damage to the ogres. We have tons of goblin hewers, and again, these are also very effective against ogres. Maybe a little bit too much stuff going on here, though. So we may want to maybe redo a few things in that army. Let's go ahead and take them back underground towards the Fortress of Vorag, where we should be able to do a bit of a refit on this army. Let's go ahead and get some firearms production underway there, and let's improve the settlement, improve the defenses. This really kind of belongs in one of the minor settlements, but I'm going to leave it there temporarily. And then, is there any other... Yeah, we need some artillery recruitment capability. Okay, so we'll kind of get some things set. There is a special building here that'll only come at tier 5. That would be a pretty good one to have. So something I am certainly interested in. Let's get some Oath Gold kicked off there. And then maybe do some growth, because we do have a lot of growth before that one's going to become available to us. I'm gonna wonder if we take Ungram over to help put an end to the Skaven. His army, though, is just terrible. His army would actually be really good against ogres. This army is just wonky. It would be decent against ogres. I say we remake this army and maybe send it off towards Cathay and see if we can help with Clan Eshin. And then we might have to have other people make their way over there. Belagar got some good replenishment done. The other lord that's with him is also still replenishing. We really need to take the fight to Clan Scryer. I was really hoping the Tomb Kings were on their way to help me, but apparently they might have changed their mind once having seen Clan Scryer's many dangerous armies. They may have decided against such a thing. Now, I have so much money, and we could certainly have more armies, and this underway is probably going to become available as we close 2 more turns. Yeah, it's going to become available soon. HeirofCarthage is close to being a decent recruiting spot. We're still missing a little bit of infrastructure here for this to be ideal. Let's go take a look. Hell Pit. Again, missing some of the stuff to make this kind of a more ideal spot. And we won't really be able to get it all there, but I'll go ahead and build a couple of things. Where's our entrance to the underway? It's right here. That would be a good spot to potentially build some recruiting facilities, but we really don't have them all the way built up. And honestly, our capital is going to be one of the best ones potentially. However, it is also a little ways away from that dwarf underway. So I don't know. We got some stuff to figure out. I'm going to stay planted. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and get on the move with Ungram. His army is not ideal for taking out rats. And when I say not ideal, like, I mean it has many weaknesses against rats that we'll have to probably rectify before we head over there. But his army is actually thematic, so I say we actually, yeah, let's leave his intact. And what we will do instead, I'm going to leave Belagar there, unassign skill points. Let's see here. So Oldest is our Demon Slayer. Tactician Thunderer. It's a good stuff here. Oldest is the Demon Slayer, so he's gonna have special buffs, so we definitely want some Slayers in his army. Six scarring. Yeah, I mean, that's good missile resistance stuff. So we may keep a Slayer army theme for this one because he's got a lot of the right pieces in play here. We don't have to put it all Slayers, but like, for instance, we could roll with some Doom Seekers and other stuff instead of the Dwarf Warriors because they are going to get buffed to a pretty decent degree. And then we're going to get a reduction in upkeep costs for them too. This is Worthy Foe. That's pretty great also. That's also a nice upgrade. Yeah, we probably need to get some more Slayers in this army because they are going to be receiving some fairly substantial increase in power. Let's go to the Engineer, providing ammunition and help here. Let's go with Bare Essentials, hand-loaded. All right, let's check out Ulrika. I really want to get Pit of Shades for her, and we just did, so that is going to be a big play. I don't think there's any other updates there. Just have another Lord not moved. This army is I'm gonna have it spend one more turn replenishing just to make sure that we don't expose it early.
How can I help?
And let's go ahead and skip that one. And I will go ahead and take this extra salt here. I mean, as if I'm like desperate for money or something. We are not, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Bit unfair. They've only one army.
Okay. Commandment available. It's gonna be the Shard Lands. I don't think we're gonna have an issue with control up here. All right, let's end our turn. All right, so it looks like Tzeentch sallied out against me here after we gave them a beating. I guess they're just coming out with everything they got left, which is very little. So let's put them out of their misery. And I'm gonna hand off the Temple Avenue of Gold, of course, to Kroq-Gar here momentarily. Let him take it into good keeping. We will work with the followers of the old ones in an attempt to make them happy and provide ourselves another ally. Looks like Malakai is going to get a chance to fight one Rakarth, the Druki, and his scarred face is probably about to receive some more scars. He has brought the critters, as one would come to expect with Rakarth. He's got two black dragons. He's got a Charybdis, a Feral Manticore. No, sorry, 3 black dragons. And then there's going to be some Cold One Dread Knights there too. Very powerful cavalry. And then he's got some tough infantry here too. Sisters of Slaughter. Not particularly effective against armor, but a dangerous unit nonetheless. And then he's got some Blackguard of Nagarond, which one never wants to underestimate there as well. Now, fortunately for me, I only see 3 crossbow units and 2 Reaper bolt throwers, so he's not going to have a substantial ranged component. He does have a substantial aerial component, though, and we will have to protect Airship 1 and the Spirit of Grungni. All right, I've got the battle underway. I speared one of the black dragons, and fortunately for me, we actually landed a hit from the Spear of Grungni, which has been quite unreliable for a good while now. There are so many flyers that I'm concerned about becoming overly active with my own air force here, so I'm going to hold my ground. My cannons have been moving up. I do not have the Reaper bolt throwers in range. Their bolt throwers are firing at my leadership, though, not my infantry, so I'm not terribly concerned at this point. I'm going to target that Charybdis. I'm a little bit concerned about the Air Force that's approaching me. I don't really have a great way to slow it down. Do a little bit of work here. I'm hoping my guns can get some good effect on target here. I'm gonna have to bring in... I left some Slayers back by my cannons as a just-in-case measure here. My leadership's holding out rather well. I'm kind of expecting that Manticore. I would have thought it was going to land on my guns. No, it's going for my artillery, so this is why I left guards here with my artillery, because I kind of expected this this run for my artillery. So I'm going to engage that Manticore. We are actually doing just fine at dispatching. I guess Gottrek's going to get mad at me here in a second for doubting his abilities to dispatch monsters. It's going to be like, bro, come on, really? I got this. Just send them all. So yeah, he appears to be completely unfazed. I'm gonna drop in the Spirit of Grungni right here. I mean, the Druki are getting absolutely shattered at the moment. Like they are getting trounced in a big way here. I've got both airships, thunder barges. I call them airship a lot, kind of interchangeable for me, so take that for what it's worth. All right, we got rid of the Manticore, kind of, for now. I'm gonna see if I can put a couple shots in it. I don't know if I can or not. I'm gonna actually kind of cover its, yep, there we go. It came back from routing near immediately, so it's a good thing I was paying attention for once. Not something I frequently do, but this time it was the case. All right, Rakarth got owned. My leadership held up the entire Druki parade here, and that has allowed my Thunderers and other units here to just pour damage into this fight. And of course, we're getting really good effect going on right now with our Thunder Barges. And we did we killed the Manticore at this point, so our artillery is safe and can continue to fire. Yeah, so Rakarth is not just going to get defeated, he's going to get defeated in a big way. So that was not just a defeat, that was a crushing defeat of Rakarth. I mean, I did intentionally position myself on that bridge, hoping that this would be the case, and it was the case. And we won in a very big way there. We won bigly. How about that? I'll see you all back on the campaign map. All right, so Rakarth's gonna have to tuck his tail in defeat here. That did not go well. That bridge position we took up ended up being quite effective. And big surprise, right? We had a bottleneck. We could bottleneck their entire army on our leaders while they were shot by Thunderers, 3 cannons, 2 Thunder Barges, and 2 gyrocopters. So definitely an unpleasant place to find yourself in. That is not the type of battle you want to be fighting unless you came appropriately armed, and they did not. And big surprise there, right? Big surprise. All right, I'm gonna head underground. We are not replenishing, but it's because we're in a desolate area. I'm gonna pop into the Howling Citadel, get some replenishment. But Guthrie Burlickson here, that is quite the name, is in a position to attack Magnus the Realm Changer here. And let's go do that. Give him a bit of a changing of his ways. We're gonna change him from alive into dead. I'm kicking off the battle here. I'm gonna spread my troops out a little because Tzeentch does have some quite effective vortex magic. So I'm actually gonna swing one of these guys wide over here. Okay, oh my gosh, we got shot in the face by those soul grinders there. There was some magic right off the bat. I'm gonna go ahead and move these guys back, as it's probably not the best for them to remain under fire. I don't know what Tzeentch is doing. They are going hard to my left flank with like all of those Lords of Change. I'm gonna shift my defenses that direction. Yeah, they're going hard. Those guys are gonna probably be just outside of range for my bug. Oh, my pink magic. Holy mackerel. Wow. That is a pastel barf if I've ever seen one. Fortunately for me, my leader can do some healing. Their lord is under a little bit of fire right now. I'm going to get into the right stance here. Okay, this is gonna be a little crazy here, folks. It's gonna be a little crazy. I think their lord is about to buy the farm here. Fortunately, that will be something, something to hang our hat on. I don't know if it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna move my Bugman's Rangers back to a little more safety. They are going in for my gyrocopters. I am going to. I don't even know what I'm doing here. This is an absolute crapshoot of epic proportions. I'm gonna pause it real quick. Actually, I'm going to go into slow motion. I'm going to land these gyros. They've already routed my engineer. However, the rest of the fight not going so brilliantly for Tzeentch. As they land, they're going to find a lot of angry Dawi who are more than capable of putting up a fight here. I tried landing the gyros in hopes that I can drag some of the Tzeentchy units into a fight with my Slayers here, which is a place where I would much rather be engaging Tzeentch. And speaking of engaging Tzeentch, all right, let's get back to it here. Boy, this is This is going to be an interesting one, folks. This is going to be an interesting one. My artillery is definitely being assailed.
Ready to serve.
My bugmans did get repositioned for the most part. Been able to throw some damage in here. I am more than a little concerned. Oh my gosh, that flamer. Thank goodness it is dumb and it's going for my... It's going for my airship. Let's spear that thing. I'm gonna actually start shooting that burning chariot. We got the Doom Knights coming back at us. My leader is actually recovering hit points at this point because there's nothing strong enough to really fight back against him. Okay, they got smart here. They're gonna go for my bugmans. That's definitely one of the targets they should be interested in. Let's get after this Lord of Change here. That was a frightening amount of magic that we got hit with there for a minute, but I guess that they probably ran out of magic reserves at some point. All right, we got some heals on the Thunder Barge. And our cannons somehow have maintained the firing position here. We got... Okay, yeah, things are looking good here. Things are looking good. Let's get out here and challenge these soul grinders. I've got my cannons repositioned. My engineer is positioned out here and firing as well now. Got some giant slayers. I'll go ahead and start the trek out here. Whew, they are really hurting the thunder. Oh my gosh, they did stay after my gyro bombers over here, and I totally missed it. Let's give some assistance. We've also got this stupid burning chariot attacking me over here, and it's actually really causing a lot of damage, like a concerning amount of damage here. I am very concerned about my Thunder Barge at this point because it's... Oh crap, I clicked an attack order with too many units selected. I really want to save my Thunder Barge. I'm going to put all my gyros back in the air and see if we can shoot these guys. Okay, I think we can save the Thunder Barge at this point. It's got 1,800 hit points. The enemy's crumbling fast, and I'm trying to make that faster. All right, there we go. Wow, that was a little bit crazy. I have never considered what it would be like to fight quite so many Lords of Change all at the same time. But now we know. Knowing's half the battle, G.I. Joe, right? There we go. All right, well, that was a solid defeat of Tzeentch's hero. And that should have... yeah, so kill the Champion of Khorne. 5,000 enemies in battle. The organ gun kills. Fight 5 battles in a region with chaotic. What happened to our... Kill the 3 champions. Okay. Yep, okay, so we killed one of them here, so we're still working on it. We really need to complete this one here, so we need more organ gun kills. That's going to be critical for us. I'm going to go ahead and finish this guy. I got to make sure it's not going to kill off... Yeah, they're going to try and kill off my Thunder Barge. I'm going to have to kill these guys on the battlefield, and then I will see you all in just a second. All right, I literally did nothing. I hit start on the battle, and then just let the battle play its course, and I took 0 damage, as one would expect from these 2 units. Like, I didn't reposition my troops, didn't do anything. Like, just hit start, and they died. So, CA please. I keep saying CA please, and I definitely have a good reason to say CA please on some of these. However, I will say this. CA, thank you for the ones that have been unfair in my favor. Because we've certainly had some of those, have we not? By the way, it was kind of funny. As soon as the battle started, my Thunder Barge got that healing. So it actually left my Thunder Barge in a better position at the end of that turn. So that's a little bit funny, not going to lie. So Malakai had absolutely drained the Druchii on the last turn, and it looks like that HeirofCarthage has kind of stepped back, hoping to heal. Let's finish him off. Send him to the Druchii grave here. And in that... Love those shotgun noises whenever you're defeating your foe there on the auto-resolve screen. I thought that was a black art for a minute, but it's not. It's just Malekith. Ooh, just Malekith. I hope he heard me say that, by the way. Just Malekith. Nothing to see here. Nothing to be concerned with. Just a mama's boy. How would you all insult Malekith? If you have something good there, let me know. And we'll have some fun with it. All right, it looks like Thorgrim has arrived, looking for a little revenge here on the Norskins who thought it wise to go behind my lines. You know, they kept asking me for peace. If they want peace, all they have to do is just set all their settlements to destruct, disband all their armies, and then run off a cliff. And it'll be no problem. I mean, peace granted, you know? Like, it's really in their hands. Like, they have the power to give themselves peace. They're just not taking it, you know? So again, I blame them fully. It's a very simple solution. I don't know why they can't just get on board. Not that we're demanding or anything. Speaking of demanding, I demand that Throth the Unclean be made clean through fire. He does not like the idea of taking a fire bath, so he is going to retreat. And we're going to give him a bit of a beat down here. That should give me some more kills on my organ guns, by the way, too. Hopefully bringing us ever closer to completing that mission. We did get some organ gun kills. Fantastic. I think it is just short of... Oh, just short of what we need to complete the mission. So close. So close. I am going to go ahead and move Gromby over here towards the reinforcements. This army is now ready to get out on the move as well. I am going to move underground to Karak 8 Peaks, which would be another safe staging point, where we have a large garrison in our defense, should we need it, against multiple Skaven stacks. And we might, because there are multiple Skaven stacks still in the vicinity that do need to be dealt with. I'm going to do some building upgrades here. I was saying on the last turn that we could potentially try to do some recruiting in the Silver Road. Let's go ahead and check that out. We really do need to get another... Yeah. So we do need to get another army set up. I'm going to look into that. All right, folks. With Ungrim, I'm going to leave him to face the ogres. I feel like that just makes sense at this point for him to face the ogres. His army is very well built for it. Whereas this Rune Lord, we could change this army up to try and make it more Skaven effective. I'm going to go ahead and ditch these Slayer Pirates. I don't mind having multiple units of Slayers. They are going to be helpful against the Skaven in more than one way. Goblin Hewer is not going to do me much good against Skaven. I don't really want flame cannons either. Actually, what I want to do here is something a little different. I want to get some organ guns because we found out that we're about to increase the range on all of them, and that should be quite fun. So I'm going to snatch up 3 organ guns, and if we get the increased range with Dig In, that is going to be quite handy. And then, again, Quarrelers with great weapons end up being a pretty handy unit. They have high armor. They're decent against stuff in melee. I don't have any of them as grudge settler units, unfortunately, because they get a bonus versus infantry as well. I would like to have those, but in the interim, we'll get something else. I'm going to go ahead and stack up some... Could do Iron Breakers, but I do really like Longbeards. Iron Breakers take a little longer to train. Let's go ahead and just throw some Longbeards. They can use the shield wall formation to good effect here, and then again, that's going to leave me about 4 slots open. Make it 5. I'm going to get rid of that Gyrocopter. That's not going to be super useful here. Again, would love to have a Thunder Barge, but that's going to take a very long time to recruit, and not something that I think I'm willing to wait on at the moment. We are going to want to get more units in here, so I might just go ahead and start pulling... we could do Ugman's Rangers, since they heal. They're actually just about as decent in melee. They lack a lot of armor. They do pick up a shield, which is helpful, and then they also heal, which again can be helpful. Let's throw some Bugmans in here. Like 5 of them. And basically this would allow us to have 8 units to do some guarding. We don't need this Iron Drake here as well. We can replace that with something else. Maybe a Grudge Settler unit when it becomes available. Anyway, that'll get that army in much better shape to be fighting Skaven. Ungrim, I really just need to have him in position to take out the ogres. we're going to be in another war against the ogres. It's just a matter of time. So I'm just going to move them over here for now just to kind of get that message off my screen. We haven't done anything else at Silver Pinnacle. We are rebuilding that building with the vampires. See whether it triggers anything. We just don't know what's going to happen there. And with Belagar and this other army, I might bounce these guys up here and let them heal a little. I'm going to move Belagar with them, keep them together so we can't get singled out by the Skaven. I'm trying to be pretty cautious there. Maybe I'm being overly cautious. I don't know. I think I'm going to... We have some pretty good recruiting capability. We actually have excellent recruiting capability at Karak Izawar. What am I thinking? This is where I should be recruiting, and it has a direct entrance to the Underway. So please ignore my stupidity from earlier, because apparently I am quite stupid in that regard. I'm going to go ahead. We do have a level 25 Lord, but we'd probably need to reset those skill points, would be my only concern. But the skill points are poorly used. But that would be a very tanky Lord to go up against the Skaven. So let's go ahead and pull that one. Let's see whether the skill points are terrible or not. It could be worse. We already got Tactician. That's not bad. So it's not bad. Let's get in here, and we're going to need to recruit an Engineer hero and a Thane. So Master Engineer. Let's go with Ancestral Blood.
What can I do?
And then let's recruit another hero. Thane. Recruit. And let's set them in this army. We'll have to take care of their skill points here. And they get quite a few to start with, which is quite nice. We'll definitely want some training to help get this army trained up quick. Let's go with Ironbeard here. We can get some Iron Breakers in this army. And then let's get Fell-Handed Warrior for the Thane is always a good one. Armor and defense. Ambush defense chance is going to be good going up against Skaven. Hit points. Revered Thane. And then let's go with hard to hit there. So we got some nice upgrades. And then we've got this new engineer we just pulled. Let's do open the cask as always, and then triangulation. Those are always good first go-tos. Let's do Deadeye. We've always got a ton of skill points going on in this campaign because we have so many characters and armies. So not exactly surprising how much skill points we're having to take care of at any given time. Flash Bomb. Deadeye. Requisition. Extinguish. Well, let's actually work on Thunder and Tactician. Okay, still have skill points that we are working on. Wow, do we ever? Man, we got all kinds of stuff to choose from. I think Oldest is the one still fighting demons, so that might not be a bad one to have there. Let's see, this one pretty much done with. Let's go with Block Army. And then Thorgrim is getting very near to his last skill point. So that's cool to see. We'll go with Blade Shield there. All right, I believe that takes care of all. We do have armies that haven't moved on this turn.
No escape plan.
It's hard to see exactly what the Skaven have available here. I'm going to move up hidden and see whether we can get lucky and pick up a Skaven ambush here. And we got Thorek as well. We need to hand over the new settlement that we took for... Let's kind of move up towards the Caverns of Sotek, and then I'm going to hand this over to Crocky. Temple Avenue of Gold is all yours. Enjoy. I'm just going to give it to him. I'm not exacting the money out of him because I'm trying to basically build up another ally here. The more allies I have, the better. So I just have a hero not moved. This is the one we've been using to just go after some of them. But we are increasing his capability rather rapidly here. So this will become a pretty effective campaign map agent here soon enough. I'm going to go ahead and take care of these commandments, but skip everything else. Frozen City is going to need defensive capabilities. All right, let's end our turn. Oh, I guess Tzeentch found a spot we weren't guarding at the Golden Tower, so we'll have to take that back when we get an opportunity, because we're going to lose this. Not surprising. Catch me where I'm not guarding something, there's definitely a fair chance I'm not going to be able to guard it. Surprise, surprise. But you'll notice that Tzeentch didn't come marching towards Thorek's army, looking to end the conflict with a decisive victory. No, instead, went marching, looking for easy stuff. Malice Darkblade trying to do the same thing and get behind me, but he's going to find the Frozen City a little more than he can handle thanks to the auto-resolve. I'm pretty sure he could have probably, like, one-man armied that entire situation had he wanted to. And here we're going to catch the Skaven. We did not get the ambush on them, but we have drawn them into open combat. And this is going to be multiple Skaven lords. They don't have the Menace below, which is really nice for once. But we do have to deal with Tretch, and he's got Natty Boobos and the Teeth Breakers. There's going to be 2 Warp Lightning Cannons coming in, but I do not see any mortars or any Plague Claw catapults. However, Skrulk's going to bring in some nasty magics. And then this, they don't have Warp Lightning. Wow. A Skaven battle with no Warp Lightning and no Menace below. No Warp Bomb. Presumably, no Warp Nuke. This ought to be interesting. All right, folks, the battle is underway. I've taken up a very strong defensive position. I've got a ton of artillery. I have a front line of Iron Breakers backed up by Longbeard Great Weapons. The Skaven do not have Warp Lightning. They do not have Poison Wind Mortars. They don't have Warp Bombs. They don't have a Warp Nuke. They are going to be very ill-equipped when it comes to being able to do mass destruction like they typically specialize in. So I'm feeling quite confident that we can trounce them. Now that said, it's the Skaven. Shenanigans always ensue. And I am expecting as much. I managed to take down their lord there. He's almost dead. I want to finish him. We need to kill all their lords if we want to have a chance of ending this battle in a more appropriate time frame. Now, I've been having issues with my Iron Breakers throwing their satchel charges. I'm going to give them direct orders to do so here. There we go. All right, I want those charges thrown. I'm going to attack Tretch McCraventail here. Wow, we annihilated a lot of the initial Skaven front line there. They are bringing their magic to bear on us, and they've got some nasty artillery after us here as well. I'm going to see, we got to get to Tretch if we want to end this quickly. Wow, we just took a faceful from that warp fire throw. Let's see if I can nuke them. And I'm going to fire up a little bit of rune magic. And we need to get over here, and we've got to start taking on Skrulk and Tretch. We're being hit by Warp Lightning Cannons. That's probably, yeah, it's targeting my Thunder Barge. Understandable. It's a good target by the Skaven. I'm going to try and take down their cannons. We do have Rattling Guns imposing some will on us at the moment. But I think we pretty well have this under control. We've got a Brood Horror coming at us. I'm going to take some Slayers. Get ready to run that Brood Horror out of town. My cannons. Okay, we got the heals on the Thunder Barge. I'm going to move the Thunder Barge back a little more. See if we can pull those Rattling Guns and other units in just a little closer. They're outflanking me this way. I'm gonna come over here and go after this unit. They're trying to kind of just forcefully break through me on this flank. I don't think it's going to work. Frustrating enough, though, I'm struggling to KO their leadership over here because I can't kill their lord easily. We are getting some damage in on Skrulk. I'm going to run these guys down. So my Slayers, of course, are my faster moving units, and I'm going to use them to start disrupting Skaven missile attacks. There's a Rattling Gun crew over there, and there's a Deathblow Bombardier over here. I'm going to go make a run at them. That should help put an end to some of this. Tretch is putting up a big fight. Our other leader here is kind of getting beat up pretty good. I'm gonna put some pain through here. We really need to get rid of this Teeth Breaker over here. The Teeth Breaker is is causing us issues. I'm gonna target this other. Where's my flame cannon? Flame cannon, can you hit that, please? Okay, I think we are turning the tide. I don't want to lose any of my leaders. We have a couple of them who are kind of at death's edge here. There's a mutant rat ogre right here in the middle that's giving me a lot more trouble than I would like. Let's go see if we can engage that. Natty Boobos is after us now as well. We got rid of one of those slingers out there. I can now come and engage Natty Boobos and the Teeth Breakers. They are putting some significant pain into my life here, as is Tretch and Skrulk. Skrulk's about to drop, and I got their attention now because I'm chasing them with a Slayer unit. So they are going to be less effective now. And we're running down their last few units here. One of the enemy lords just went down. Let's gang up on Tretch. See if we can just bully him out of the fight here. He is tough to kill. There we go, we got him. We got him. And we got rid of the weapon teams that were plaguing us still there. So, big victory for us. We took some damage, but not that big of a deal. We caused a tremendous amount of damage in return as well. I'm not going to be able to catch Skrulk and KO him entirely, or sorry, Tretch. So let's go ahead and end this one. All right, so good victory for us. Tretch defeated, so Clan Moors takes another devastating blow. They are definitely on their last legs. And then with another army on the way, with Belagar, Clan Scryer is going to be feeling some major heat as well. Lewin wants an agreement, and that's going to also just leave Clan Eshin out there. It would be nice to get to again. We don't have to get to Clan Eshin, I feel like, to meet the objectives of this campaign. We fully upgraded the airship. We completed the legendary grudge. We are clearly going to defeat the Skaven at this point. But again, I really, for me, at this point, it's about just kind of embarrassing some of our enemies just because we can. Speaking of embarrassing some of our enemies because we can, Malekith's here. Oh, I was going to get him with Malakai, but it looks like we could, in fact, potentially intercept him out here. So I'm going to go set up an ambush for Malekith, and we'll see whether we can catch him. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. Hopefully you all... apologies, excuse me. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And we will be continuing it soon. Yeah, not exactly sure where... I would love to at least kill Clan Scryer and Clan Moors. They're right in front of me. Clan Eshin might take some time and effort because they are quite a bit farther away. I'm going to play a little bit of cleanup crew on some of these Clan Moors vermin here. Let's do this just real quick before we end the episode. Might as well. Alright, so we did some cleanup hits. We've got a ton of Oath Gold again, which means I can forge up more of my healing materials. Let's go ahead and go attack the rats outside of Valea's Sorrow. That's going to pull the settlement garrison. Tretch is going to go down. And then Valea's Sorrow is going to fall. That did not eliminate Clan Moors. Interesting. If they have any other settlements, I certainly don't know where it would be. They perhaps just have an army hiding somewhere. I'll move around a little bit here and see if we can turn it up. I think... Yeah, I don't know where Clan Moors would be at this point. Let's back up this way with Grombrin. I'll just take a quick peek back here. I don't know. Let's see what happens with Clan Moors. I'm gonna actually force march over here to where we can start healing. I'm gonna go ahead and go after some of these Skaven heroes here. We failed, but we will try again soon. All right, I'll see you all in the next episode. HeirofCarthage, signing out.